I'm ready for it. Jessie J, I know. Also, I changed my fit. Do you want to see it? We're doing like a little pastel number right now. So I've got the stunna shades on. Come here, come here. I've got a little barrette moment. I've got the pink hair still, because obviously. I've got little earrings on. I've got this beautiful, beautiful dress on. And then I put these like knee-high socks on because I thought they went with the pink and the blue. And then I have matching shoes on. Like, tell me this isn't a vibe. Tell me this isn't a look. And then I ended up being able to finish the Froggy banner. And because I had some leftover crystals, I was able to unlock something. Ah! My boy! He finally has a different cloak. I had to go with the sage green. If you know me, you know I love sage green. I almost went with like the pink one, but I said, no, my boy, I want him to look like a fairy. Look at the back. It's so adorable. So I was able to select this from the permanent selection, from the permanent banner. What is this? What is this music right now? He kind of blends into the grass, but like that's okay. That's fine. Let's do our dailies, then we'll continue on with the story, okay? Alrighty. I love him. Clothing piece, plants, vital energy, realm. I could do that. I could do 2 for 1. 2 for 1. And then I think it said to dig for Hair Pal, which I have already been doing. The joke's on you, game. So these open up, you can't see behind me, but they open up at different levels. So I have 3 of the digging queues open, and the 4th one unlocks at level 28. And I am level 25, so that'll be happening very, very soon. You have so many outfit ideas. You should do it. Because remember, you can save up to 4 outfits. So that's pretty nice. So I have to go to the Realm of the Dark. And I can do any of these ones. So I don't remember what I needed. We'll try Hurl. 140, 50, vital energy. You're a vital energy. You're a boulder. Boulder? I hardly know her. Need more than 4. I know. I wish that they could increase that, but maybe logistically they can't. I always try and do 2. Like 2 missiles to him, but I don't think it always works. Oh, see, like I missed that because I was too far away. Oh, it's right in the middle of that. Disgusting. Oh! Oh dear. You know, it's fine. I'm sure it's fine, chat. I wouldn't worry about it. Need to get better about rolling away. I'm just a baby. When is your little thing opening? Open up your hole. Thank you. I need 1 more. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, no. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh. I have like 1 more heart left. I'm fine. I knew I was going to do fine. Do that. Noise. Someone confiscate these after 8s before I eat them all. What's an after 8? Is it chocolate? Can I have some? I'll confiscate it. You just won't ever see it again. So if you're fine with that, then we can do that. Nice. Yeah, these dailies are so bananas easy. Okay, so we have to go back to the abandoned district and venture into the Ripple wine cellar. That's where we stopped on Monday. So we're all the way over here. And, right? Yeah, this is right by the Ripple wine cellar. I almost said the nipple wine cellar. I'm so sorry. The Ripple wine cellar. Is that only a British thing? It might be. That chocolate is your favorite? Vane, are you British? Have you heard of that before? Is it like a toffee? I don't know. Is it? iPad, you love to see it. Do you love it? Are you loving it? Come here, sweet baby. Give me your shiny fur. Nipple seller? I can't tell you what's going on here. I don't know. I misconstrued so much. Oops, sorry. Sorry, I just blasted you instead. Yuki, hi! Hello. It has suspenders. Who does? Heath bars? Oh, I don't think I've ever had a Heath bar. I don't think I have. Hannah, hello! Happy holidays. How are you doing? How was your day yesterday? Ooh. All right, nipple wine cellar. Why am I having musical blings now? Renowned brewmaster Lorenzo. Raw materials for the ripples. The brewers at the Ripple Estate believe that their sincere dedication to crafting a beautiful flavor transforms hard work into unparalleled taste. So this used to be, like, the place. Water? Will you drown here? No. That's good. Making me want to pee, though. Just want to see if we got a hidden star. Ooh. It looks to be around a bend, though, because there's nothing that's over on this side. Ah! Those are after 8s? Oh! No! That's not just a British thing. I've seen those before. We have something, or if not, we've got something very similar in the US. Very, very similar. You're mint, right? How do I get to you? Ooh. Oh. Okay, so we have to go that direction, but before I go there, we gotta go up this way. Ooh. Oh, God. Heck off. Not today, Satan. And Thin Mints covered in dark chocolate. That sounds delicious. Oh, that used to be my jam. Now, if I fall down there, will I die? Or is this like a secret compartment? Oh, nope. So don't fall down there. God forbid she puts one singular toe in water and then she collapses. Because of course she would. Oh, can I grab these guys from here? No, I have to go around. Yeah! That's what I was thinking of, the Andes mints. Teleport path. Chat, you're a teleport path. Ooh. Ooh, this looks like it could potentially collapse on me. I love this game. I literally love it, darling. Oh, oh God, this whole thing is moving. Okay, hi, bye. Just get back there. Oh my God, it's like a roller coaster. Well, this is fast. This is fast. Oh, it stopped. Okay, but what if I want to go back there? I guess I can't now. You think Nikki is part cat? Can I ask why? Oh God. Oh God. Is it because of Momo? Because, you know, I could see that. Anything up over here? No. It's just that one guy. Okay, don't drown. What's in there? Now I know the answer. I do. This is cute. I can't wait until we get player housing. God, that's gonna be so fun. Oh God. This really is like a roller coaster. Ah! Whee! Okay, we need to make sure we're not missing anything. Oh, we got 2 guys ahead. 2 guys ahead. Another one. This is fun. I like this area. Oh. We got them boulders. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Move. Ah! Okay, I got them all. Oh shit. Aim right there. You're not trying to hit these barrels of hay. Are they just barrels? Or are they like wine barrels? That would probably make way more sense. Yeah, we're getting player housing. Isn't that cool? Oh, are these things that are dropping down? What are those things? This is so neat. How does this house the whole place in here? There's something on this side? Oh, God. Well, I'm going to have to get off, aren't I? Okay. Wow. Wow. I just want to make sure there were no baddies over on this side. Look at the water! So, like, oh God. Oh, God. Oh, bad idea, bad idea. Oh, God. Nikki? Nikki? No! I forgot to equip the flower. Let me just... Okay. That's what I was trying to do, chat. And instead, I just went diving into the water. My bad. Whoops-a-daisy. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days. No, Hannah, she can't. She's like, oh my God, I'm drowning. Stand up. Whee! Ooh. Ooh. Oh, God! That was terrifying. See, now listen to me. This doesn't seem very girly pop, you know? Like, she almost drowned here. And how does the person come behind you? Do they just not? Is this whole thing just for one person only? Also, these barrels are, like, ridiculously big. Are we rolling? Are we rolling? No, yeah, keep going. Keep going. Oh, my God. Nikki, you're making me suffer right now. Okay. Okay, I'm here. I feel like I should go that way maybe, but maybe not. There's a big barrel over there. I guess not. That was your reaction to this part? Like, the build makes no sense. Oh, dear. Oh! Oh! Hey. Not today. I feel like I'm playing, like Fashion Frogger right now. I'm just waiting for the cars to come by. Oh, I heard a guy. Get on here. Don't drown. Nikki doesn't listen to me. She does not listen to me. My instinct is correct. I should have gone that other way. Well. Don't drown. Don't drown. Don't drown. Good. Heals are hard. She's doing this with purpose. Oh. Oh. Come on, Nikki. Come on, Nikki. There's 2 different directions we can go right now. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna go this way. Oh, we're not gonna make it. Oh, we're just barely gonna make it. I had faith that whole time. How big is this one? Excuse me?
Momo, I heard some people talking up there. Is that D'Artagnan? He sounds kind of arrogant.
What is with this laugh? Are y'all hearing that? Okay, that needs to stop. Who's... Oh, that was Jenny we met at the beginning. Time flies. Nicola. Do we know Nicola? Damn, now I'm thinking I should have gone in the other direction. How does anyone get over to this area if it's so tucked back? Appointed wish collectors. D'Artagnan! So he worked here? He worked here / he works here? I want exactly Crochet Cat. And then This seems like the type of area, too, where if you don't go in one direction, you can't go back. Like, you have to start it from the beginning again, and I'm not that kind of girl. Uh-oh, chat.
I sure made a killing off that little kid, Louise.
It's Fieldy!
I could have scored some blings off that cat lady, too. If it wasn't for that sword-wielding troublemaker.
Oh, sorry, I have to put this on manual.
Fieldy, you gotta hone your skills. If it were me,
Who is this guy?
I'd have made a fortune off that girl.
Stop laughing like that. I like Woody.
Selling these knockoffs was so easy.
Did we drown them all?
Fieldy, we're lucky we pulled it off. If the old geezer Spindle or the two girls from the Stylists Guild get wind of this, we'll be in hot water.
I'm not scared of them. We're the Rogues, reincarnated. With a name like that, who would dare cross us? Huh?
Kudos to the people who helped us get where we are today.
They need to stop laughing right now.
Before the Flamecrest Festival, we should whip up some more fabric. They'll sell
Do you like it, Crochet Cat?
hotcakes.
Those morons holding their breath for our Floragale cloth.
What's wrong with
As long
him?
as we've got these knockoffs, the blings will keep rolling in. We'll make it rain with blings.
Oh,
More blings
shit.
than we can spend.
Nikki! The S-Lings are coming! I've got this.
Oh, they're villains. Where did the other guys go, though? Why do I gotta do this by myself? Oh, they just went down the stairs over there? Ah! Oh, God, I got hit by a ball. Okay, we have to go after them.
A cat lady?
I'm a lady who happens to have a
Sony,
cat.
She looks so strong.
Obviously, I see her. Why else do you think I haven't stepped in?
What?
It's really you. The villagers said you went looking for D'Artagnan. What are you doing here?
Looking for D'Artagnan?
What am I doing here? What about you, scammers? Your fake fabric caused so many problems, but you're still acting all smug?
Tell him, Nikki.
This has nothing to do with you. D'Artagnan is at the Market of Mirth. Don't waste your time on us.
Oh, okay.
I've got time to deal with you.
Yeah.
All we did was sell some counterfeits. What's the big deal?
Run,
If
Weasley.
I had used your fake fabric to craft my floral gliding outfit, I would have fallen to my death already.
Huh? Is that bad? I thought we were just crushing the dreams of a few young boys and girls.
Oh, we almost killed you? Is that
That's bad enough.
Is it? My parents never supported my dreams back when they were alive. I thought it was normal.
Oh my God, you need therapy, babe.
Wait. This is no time to talk about your dreams.
You really saved us, and that makes you family.
Vicious.
And since you're family, how about you take 100,000 blings to say thanks?
You're trying to bribe us?
Pretend you didn't see us. Have some mercy.
Staunchly refuse.
Do I look like I'd take such a small amount?
Woo!
You kinda do.
Homo.
Listen up. There's a lot of ways to earn blings, but scamming isn't one of them.
Oh, and death.
Aren't you stubborn? Huh. Guess we'll have to abandon this space. As long as we have the Great Jerome's abilities. We'll get up and running again quickly.
Unless we harm you.
Oh, D'Artagnan, what are you doing here?
Huh, where'd they go?
Think you can catch me? Keep dreaming!
How did they distract us with that? Nikki's like,
They escaped.
because you turned
I'll report
around.
this to Dada and Captain Haya right now.
Mia, thanks for the lurk. Hi, lady Sadie. How's it going?
Done. Those crooks won't be free for long.
Yeah. Also, we didn't end up with nothing. At least we learned D'Artagnan went off to the Market of Mirth. I wonder where it is.
Let's get back to the Golden Fields. We can ask Raggy. As a local, He should know how to get to the Market of Mirth.
There's nothing else going on in here? Did they just...
Yeah. Let's head back
push
to
us
the Golden
out?
Fields and ask Raggy.
Oh, there was
I'm
at
sure
least
we'll find
two
a
other
way to the Market
directions
of
I could have
Mirth.
gone in. Well, okay. Chapter 4, Land of the Abandoned. Corrupted Stoneheart. Return to the Golden Fields and ask Raggy for news. Don't mind if I do. I'm going to teleport over there since I can. So, I'm assuming this is where it is? Yeah. So we'll just go to the Golden Fields section. Raggy and his big hole. I get it. My big mouth gets me into trouble, and his big hole gets him into trouble. But also, why didn't he know about that before? And, once more, I'm a little confused because weren't we originally going to this area to look for Louise's dad? So did we just straight up abandon that? We're like, oh no, D'Artagnan is more important, but this man has been missing and we're thinking that something might have happened to him? Anybody else? Oh.
Let go of me! Stop it! Stop
What?
fighting!
What's going on?
Cut it out!
His little feet! What are we supposed to be looking at? what is that?
You guys look suspicious. I'm worried they'll hurt Nikki.
You're a low-life spy! You tricked this stylist and now you're after the secret of the artifact!
I'm a knight who's been secretly protecting Nikki this whole time. I'm not a spy.
I don't know what happened there.
Your
It was
kind
like the
committed
crotch
all
talk.
kinds of atrocities! A Feywish sprite! Who would believe you?
Despicable.
I was just trying to help. Pieces are as stubborn and vulgar as I'd heard. Of course they're bad luck.
You stopped fighting, but you're still arguing. Listen, all of you. Raggy and Caleb didn't hurt me. They showed me the way. And Gerota isn't a spy. While we've been investigating the coma cases, he's helped me a
Not
lot.
the casual racism.
I don't know what happened between your people. But what I do know is that everyone here is warm-hearted and kind.
That's right, Nikki.
If Nikki says so, I'll let you go. But I promise, if you do anything suspicious, I'll report it to the Volunteer Corps.
Of course I won't. And I guess I'll let you go too. Nikki, as you know, I can fly.
You can?
So I can easily reach the stone tree clusters. I'll investigate and see if I can find the wish collector or traces of the prophet.
All right.
The Prophet? Gerota, do you have any leads?
Nothing I'm certain of yet. But I don't think they went after the wish collector just because of his connection to Stoneville.
So
What they
more.
want may have to do with the whole region.
You may have a point. Gerota, be careful.
Poor
Okay,
thing.
sure.
Okay,
Nikki,
bye.
At the Ripple Wine Cellar, did you find the Wish Collector?
Negative, Raggy.
No. The humans there were a bunch of crooks making counterfeit fabric.
No wonder! I saw a few people running away in panic. I guess they crawled in through the tunnel the rogues dug. That explains the recent rumors of humans. You'd mentioned some people are after the Wish Collector. Tell me more about it. This is really bad. Oh, Raggy. Calm down. Calm down.
Raggy is my anxiety personified.
This is terrible!
Nikki, I'll go with you. I know the Stone Tree clusters pretty well. I can help.
Okay.
And for some personal reasons, I'm also looking for him.
Oh?
Okay. According to those awful counterfeiters, the Wish Collector is at the Market of Mirth. Can you show us how to get there?
Is that also going to be on one of the islands?
Of course. Though it's really far. The choo-choo train is down. Your gliding outfit won't make it.
Uh-oh.
And as far as the sky passes,
How do we get there?
to move between stone tree clusters, they're essential.
They are,
The
okay.
sky passes are made out of gale grass and also puff rings. On top of each huge stone tree, we've built gliding stations.
Oh, that's
The
nice.
managers of the stations maintain the sky pass and make sure that it's safe. But now, all the sky passes have collapsed. We would need a great stylist able
So
to
am I getting
purify
a new
dark
ability?
essence. Oh, too bad.
Maybe to go up?
I can do it. With my purification outfit.
Oh.
That's incredible!
Never mind, I already had it.
Our savior! According to Heartkeeper Auntie Kashmia, the cause of the Sky Pass collapse is just the dark essence.
Well, then I'll purify it,
when
baby.
you went to the Ripple Estate, I saw Auntie Kashmia heading toward the forest over there.
Okay,
Let's go find her.
sure. Why not?
Raggy, you promised me a bunch of times to help me with my wheat.
Oh,
Yeah.
about that.
Raggy, we can find her ourselves. should help
Raggy
with
has
Caleb's
to
wheat.
stay here and help him with his
I,
wheat.
I'll find you after I'm done.
Yeah, I got this. XOXO, Nikki. Okay, bye. I'm a scarecrow. You are not. You're a freaking liar is what you are. I know where I'm supposed to be going right now. Oh, this way. So I need to take a left. This way. Wonder if we're gonna find anything else on our route. Shake the tree. Oh God, I didn't realize it would be flying around. Hello? Are we back, chat? Did you break it? You might have broken it. Are we back? I think it was the poll guys. They're still here. Are we okay? Are we back? Hi, Kellerax! Hi! Yeah, refresh the stream if you don't see me for whatever reason. It was only down for a few seconds. I was trying to I just pat this long bunny horse. And I was terrified of it. You think Twitch might be twitching? I saw it on OBS's side, though, so I'm thinking it wasn't an OBS issue. I feel like it was like an electrical issue. Hello?
Stupid hoe. So rusty.
My name is Nikki, thank you.
So brittle. The sickle, I break 3 with one punch. I can't believe it. In this big place, not one good weapon.
Hello. Are you the Heartsweeper Auntie Kashmia?
That's a long name.
Yeah, you scared me half to death. Where did this rude human come from? This is a sacred job.
Rude human,
I'm
we
the
just asked her
Heartkeeper in
name.
charge of maintaining the Stoneheart.
I'm so sorry. We actually came to see if we can help.
Yeah, Auntie Kashmia, we have a lot in common. My cape is pure cashmere. What a cutie, sweetie pie. I was going to say the same thing about you. So then, why do you want to see me?
We want to know what caused the sky passes to collapse.
Can we
To
help?
work properly, sky passes need the seeds harvested directly from the Stoneheart. And if we don't water it with stone dew nectar, the Stoneheart will wither.
Terrible.
For each Heartkeeper, it's our sacred duty to water the Stoneheart regularly. But in the past few days, Cutie Pie, the stone dew
She's
floors
calling
have
us
been
Cutie Pie?
contaminated by dark essence.
Mom gets to
Some
pass?
sky passes in the distance have disappeared. I worry about how the other stone trees are doing.
That's not good.
I'm really worried. That's why I was a little grumpy before.
I get it. I get hangry.
It's okay.
You just get
Leave it
hangry
to
with
me.
feelings.
With my purification outfit, I can purify the contaminated stone dew floras.
That's wonderful. Young lady, you're a hero.
Hi, hero.
Thank you. But you might not know what the stone dew floras look like. Come over here with me.
Why is everybody so giggly in this game? Like, the laughing is a bit much at certain times. Very forced.
These are stone dew floras. Oh no, all the lovely flowers.
Oh,
They've
I'm
been
gonna have
tainted
to
by the evil
cleanse 'em.
Esslings. Young lady,
I
I'll
know.
leave the Esslings to you. Please purify
None
them
of them
all.
are the same
That
length
way I can
crochet,
collect
cat.
stone dew nectar and water the Stoneheart.
I wanna like pull one of their legs to see if it's like intertwined through and just even them out. Like you would do with a hoodie. You know? Oh, do I just hop down there? Okay. Whee! Oh, there's something over there too. Take that! And take that! And take... Oh, you're the button guys. Oh my god, get out of my way. Get out of my way. This heckin' right. Boom. Or not. Boom. No, I need to aim. Oh, God. I did it. Unravel them? You know, grab a needle, some thread. I'm sure the whole thing is fine. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. Yes, that sounds very important and all, but I need to get up here somehow. I don't know how I'm supposed to get up there. Do I have to try and go back up? Where are you going? Did you just fly away? How am I supposed to get back up there? It's a genuine question. I'm gonna hop back down so I can get whatever's in that chest. Don't judge me, okay? I don't think I'll be coming back to this area, so... So where the hell was it? Oh, I see it now. Oh. Oh, I don't have the thingy on. I feel like this could have been done differently. Maybe they're on something? You mean like attached to something? Maybe. Imagine if I just fell through that hole. 10 diamonds for that! That's it! I thought it was gonna be an outfit. I have so many outfits I still need to craft. I've already crafted quite a bit, but I still have some. Let me show you what I've got. So, I crafted all of the ability outfits again, so that when I get to a certain part in the story, I'm going to be able to have their secondary colors, which is awesome. This is my stylish outfit area. Now I have my rare pieces, so I was able to make most of them, but I have 6 left right now. The Raging Boldy, because I'm in need of avoidance buttons and tricky patches. This one I can make. I just need to grab some blossom beetles. I like the leather on that. This is the one that Louise gave to us. I need Wisteria Soul. This is nice. I'm fine with the bedrock crystals, but I need Carryfin essence. I don't know how the heck you get that. Some earrings. I need goggle bugs for that. And then this hat. I need whiskerfish essence and a brusher. What's up? Hi, Ninja. Welcome on in. How are you doing today? Oh, the giggly characters are on something. They're laughing way too much. More than like a normal person should laugh. But even the villains are too. Ooh. There's hearts. You see it in the middle? Oh, that's pretty. I like that.
Look! The stone heart! It's full of life again. The sky passes should be restored too. We just need the gliding station manager to activate them.
Okay. Where's the manager?
Nikki is our savior!
Where's our manager?
Nikki, I'm impressed. I've never left the Golden Fields myself, but I feel better knowing the Stoneheart has been restored.
Did we fix his wheat?
Caleb, you should get out and
Sorry
see
to
the
hear
world while
that,
you have
Ninja.
a chance.
I really like farming.
Is it
and
cool,
I feel
Willie?
safer here in the Golden Fields.
All right, if you insist.
Okay, bye.
But I do admire you.
I'll leave you here.
Always flying all over the place. You're even a reserve in the volunteer corps.
And soon I'll even become an official member.
I'm looking forward to it. When Raggy is inducted into the volunteer corps, Nikki, you should see the ceremony.
I don't know what that is, but I'll be there.
You need to keep
I'm
your
happy
focus,
for
Nikki.
you.
You've got important things to do now.
Hey!
Right. We need to find
Cat,
the wish
thank you
collector
so much
first.
for the
No more
raid.
wasted time.
Welcome on in, party
We'll set off
people.
right now.
Hi, Irish. Hi, Allie, Sarah, Cozy Nose, Armander. Hello, Mr. Moogles. Cat, what were you streaming today? Hold on a second. Bus Simulator. I need to, number one, Bus Simulator 21? Is that the year? How many bus simulators they've made? Number two, explain this to me. Have you been driving people around all day? I feel like I need to play this. I hope you had an amazing stream. Happy holidays. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Y'all, if you're new here, hey, hi, hello. My name is Violet. We love playing cozy variety games over here on Twitch. Happy holidays to everybody. We've been obsessed with Infinity Nikki lately. It's pretty much as if Final Fantasy and Genshin and like a dress-up game had a baby. It's so fun. It's literally like Sailor Moon. Shh. The story is great. The voice acting is so good. Robbie Damon once again smashes it. So that's what we're playing through today. I needed to get you a real job. Of course. And you know what? Driving a bus is a great real job. Now, did you run over anybody? Cozy, thank you. This is actually a wig. I wear wigs 24/7 in here, and I wanted the pink to match my tree for the holidays. And I haven't stopped wearing it for like a week. So there's so many buttons. Were you doing the steering wheel? Were you doing like mouse and keyboard? Don't ask questions. Okay. The less I know, the more likely I will be to play it. So I'm there. You've not been sued yet? No? Kat, I was thinking about you the other day because I remember when you and Luxie and pals did your Fourth Wing discussion. Are you excited about the third book? Are you reading it? Are you doing anything for Onyx Storm? There are too many buttons for the wheel. Oh no! Did I put the wheel in Steam Deck? Oh, that'd be cool. With the Stream Deck, I mean. Yeah. Less issues, probably. Also, if you need to raid and run, babe, please go take care of yourself. I will take care of your pals. Thank you so much for following, y'all. I really appreciate it. Char, don't you keep barking. She's going off again. We have people working on our telephone lines for no apparent discernible reason. And she does not like it. There is, Sarah! A third book. Here, hold on. Let me show you my collection on the side. The third book is out in January, on January 21st. It's called Onyx Storm. Am I going to a midnight release for the first time since high school? I am. I'm very excited. Made you fall sour. I've heard that from people. I feel like for the second book, some people either loved it or they hated it. And I distanced myself because I heard a lot of like not so great feedback on Book Talk. So I said, well, let me read it in a few months so that I'm not like listening to anybody and I can form my own opinion. I can see why people didn't like it, but I did like it. I think the miscommunication trope is really hard for a lot of people. And I'm like hit or miss with it, depending. Bring you back in? Yeah. That's so totally fair. The second book for a book that you loved, you're excited to read it. That's awesome. That's so cool. Simmer, we're back. We got the heart tree, which is really awesome. Our beautiful friend Kat rated. And we've just non-stop yapping today. Violet felt very much not like Violet from the first book, so it made it difficult for you. I think part of the issue with that is that she was so upset by the end of the first book that she became very stubborn, and she felt like everybody was out to get her at that point. Like, she couldn't trust Dane. She felt like Zayden was lying to her the whole time and asked him to be honest with her, and he's like, I can't do that. Didn't trust her mom. Didn't trust anything or anybody that was going on. And she stayed stuck in that for more of the book than she should have for her character arc. Martin, hello. Simmer, you gotta let me know, because that's another 5-star for me. I just finished the second book in that series. I have to wait for the third, because I want to read Onyx Storm before that. I can't have too many romantasy novels going on at the same time. Like, I can do it, but I think I just get too fantasied out, so I need palate cleansers in the meantime. See, but as a stubborn person. Well, I also said, too, that For me, I didn't mind the miscommunication trope so much in this one compared to other books that I've read because I was like, they're both young. She had this really bad thing happen to her. By the end, I was like trying to well, by the midpoint, I was like shaking her. I was like, all right, we got to get our act together, baby. Like, I'm a girl's girl, but I would steal Zayden from her at that point. God forbid we don't stream for 2 days and we can't shut up. Kawuchi, hi! How are you doing? How are you doing? Good to see you. Okay, let's get through the rest of this cutscene, and we're gonna take a quick break, okay?
Stone Tree Cluster, we'll go to that gliding station. We'll find the station manager.
I can't wait to meet the station manager.
Activate the Sky Pass. Let's get going.
All right, Capitan. She felt stronger and better in the first one. She didn't annoy me in the first one, but did basically like nothing but annoy me in the second one. Yeah, and I can understand that feedback for sure. Because she became very whiny, and she went from, hey, I can do anything, to all of this stuff is simultaneously bugging me. It didn't stop her from doing what she had to do, but she was very vocal about her complaints in the second book versus the first. Like, just as an example, when she was fighting people on the mat, right? And she was trying to get out of that. I'm trying to say it without saying it in case of spoilers. She was just like, oh, this sucks, but I gotta get it done. And then the second book, whenever she had to do X, Y, or Z, it was like kicking her feet through mud in the second one. So I totally get it. I get it. Hi, Marin! Yeah, we're talking about Fourth Wing. Well, Fourth Wing / Iron Flame. Yeah. No, but I get it. I really did love it. I liked the time that we spent away from a certain somebody, and I loved the ending, and that kind of kept me hanging on. I think the writing suffered more in the second book, but no, it was still a 5-star read for me. I'm in deep, baby. I'm in deep. Kat, before you go, babe, I know you got things to do. I got a ton of Fourth Wing merch from the community for the holidays this year, and they got me, hard to see on camera, but this is a sleeping dragon and supposed to be a Darna. So I'm going to be putting this on my bookshelf when I take down my Christmas decorations. Chat knows where I'm at. I love it. Yes, 5 books total, which is kind of a nice happy medium. I don't know if anybody in here started or is currently reading like Zodiac Academy or From Blood and Ash, which I recommend both of them. If you like romantasy, they're fabulous. But my dear God, there's so many books for each of them. 8, 10? Like, you think 5 is the law? Baby. I'm a masochist. I forgot about it until the final chapters. Yes, I agree. I don't know if you know this either, but something I mentioned to chat. So this is from Red Tower publishes it. And some feedback that people gave last year is that Red Tower is like the Sheen of publishing, meaning it's very fast for the turnaround time. So people think that Fourth Wing blew up. They wanted to get this out as soon as possible. So they put her, Rebecca Yarros, on like an inconceivable deadline. And the book suffered in turn. Because they cared more about the beautiful paper edges than maybe what was contained in the book. Little baby girl, I know, I love her. 10 books? Yeah. Ask me about it. Why am I doing this to myself? Andrea, hi! Cursed Academy, yeah, I gotta add that to my list. Oh, Ninja, that's too bad. The horrendous release. I know! And all the misprints and stuff. Hopefully that doesn't happen this time. And I'm nervous too because I'm going to the midnight release. But it's at a local bookstore and I'm excited to be like with other like book baddies. So, but I hope that when I get it in my hands, it's not printed weirdly. Vane, thank you so much for 3 months. Thank you, darling. I appreciate the heck out of you. All right, pals, I'm going to take a quick break. I have to run to the restroom. We'll be back for Yaps, and we'll be back for more Infinity Nikki. Kat, thank you so much again for the raid. Oh my God, you are amazing. Iron Widow is fire. Oh, that's on my TBR. You like it? Yeah, you recommend it? Okay, I'm going to move it up. Give me yay. Another really cute romantasy read that's kind of spicy that I read for the holidays. It's more like a Christmas related book, but it's really cute. It's called The Nightmare Before Christmas, and it is a MM novel, and it is basically like a cutesy, spicy fantasy retelling of The Nightmare Before Christmas. So you have the Prince of Christmas and the Prince of Halloween, and they get together. And I was just kicking my little feetsies the whole time. It's so good. It's so good. BRP question, since we're on the book topic. What is your last 5-star read? Your last 5-star read. Tell me in chat. We'll be back in a few minutes. Hi, honey. Good to see you. You're struggling? A lot of fluff? That's what I'm worried about as the series go on. I feel you on that. All right, we'll be back, friends. Hello. Hi, I'm back. What was your last 5-star read for the BRP question? Let me know. Unrealistic deadlines. No, for sure. For sure. And then it ruins the art. Yeah. 100%. Go follow Cat or else. Do it. Edgar Allan Poe. A Modern Detective. Phantasma, Fourth Wing. The Crown of Gilded Bones. And the Blood. Okay, so that's my next one that I'm going to be reading. This Blood That Binds Us. Oh, I've heard of that one. I love that vein. You're kind of all over the place. Text by... Oh, that was on my list too. The little goth writer. The boyfriend. Oh, Frida McFadden. Very neat. Aquamath, yeah. Sarah, I love that. Isn't that terrible where you're like trying to get that next like book high and then you're just coming up with like 3 or 2-star reads? Because that happens to me. I would say, so y'all know I read usually, I average 100 books a year, but the amount of 5 stars that I end up having, maybe 4 if I'm lucky. Did I read? I did. I read ACOTAR 3 times. Remember, I DNF'd it twice. Then the 3rd time, I finally pushed through and I finished it. Because y'all were like, you got to get to Akamath. So ACOTAR for me is like 2 to 3 star. I'm so sorry because I understand it's beloved by a lot of people. I think my issue was the pacing of it. Truly, it was the pacing. It's very slow and I like fast-paced reads. But Akamath was 5 star for me. Like, it was so worth it to get to Akamath, but you have to put a lot of time into it. Mike, how are you doing? Yeah, me too, Sarah. I haven't read the last 3, unfortunately. Not yet. Hopefully this year. Oh, Doc! An oldie. You love it. Heck yeah. Me too. I read so many Christmas novels and novellas this year that I was like, okay, I had a week until Christmas and I was like, we gotta switch. It's too much for me. That sounds amazing, Andrea. Ooh. Simmer, you should. It's very good. The Midnight Library, Marin, that's on my TBR. You loved. I've heard nothing but good things about it. I tried reading at my last book club. So I book club tomorrow, and the book club that I go to consistently now, this will be my 2nd time. It's a silent book club. So we read whatever we want, then we talk about our books at the end. And last book club, I attempted, and I got through probably 200 pages of Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. And that was a bestseller. I just couldn't get into it. I can't tell you the reasoning why. It's well written. The characters are great. I think I just wasn't in the right headspace to begin a book like that. So I will pick it up again, but not now. The same thing happened to me with Quicksilver, which is like the latest big romantasy book. The pacing was not great, so I DNF'd it for now. Okay, pals, let's get back into the game. We're going to play for a little while longer. Did I have something else in here I needed to check? Yeah, I have bunches of stuff we got to claim. Come on, baby. Slumping all year since then. Yeah. Hey, that's okay, too. So, you know what? Your priorities change every year. That's okay. Maybe next year it'll be 95. Vader Bell, hi. Thank you so much for 3 months with your Prime. How are you, my love? Somebody new add me? Who contacted me? Oh, Jamie. What did you say? Let me know when we're beating up Grandma again and I'm in. All right, perfect. 3 p.m. behind the Twitch Prime shed. Don't be late. I like that every time I reply back to Jamie, it just coincides with me streaming. Is that it? I don't think I have any others. Okay. Look how many friends I have on here. Beating up Grandma again. Well, it had to do with what we were doing the other day. It wasn't just like a random thing. We met this grandma, one of these weird Pisces, and she was a little mean to us. I'm not even gonna lie to you. 300, that's incredible. That is incredible. Are there any standouts for you?
Made it! Welcome to the boarding station.
Perspiring
I'm the
Tawella.
manager, Tawella.
Okay.
You're my hero.
Why are you perspiring?
Thanks so much for restoring our stone heart. Without you, I would have lost my job. It was so hard for me to get.
Oh,
My pleasure. But do PCs need to compete for jobs?
do you?
Yeah, and competition is tough. But in the end, I got
In
the
this
job.
economy?
Now I give it my all and make my family proud.
Tawella is the hardest worker in the Golden Fields.
Don't make me blush, Raggy. I'm working. Miss Nikki, this path takes you to the Market of Mirth. When you're ready to go, let me know.
I'd like to at least get over there.
I'm all set. Let's go.
You've read a ton, yeah?
Excellent. I'll activate the Stoneheart using the ability outfit and open the Sky Pass for you.
So to be clear, I should be using my flower outfit, right? Oh, is this just happening for me? Okay, never mind. Oh, it's a heart! Why wouldn't it be? But that's just so cute. How do you change the colors of your outfits? Oh, I'll show you. The ability outfits, I'll show you. I'll show you. I'll show you before we take this route. So I think I'm gonna have to use the flower ability outfit, and I have to go through these hoops that are gonna propel me to the next little island. Yeah, that's gotta be it. Exactly, Marin. Yes. Yup. And it's a great way to meet people and get out. And I love the last hour. I was so nervous to go by myself. And it was one of the best experiences I ever had. And then I made friends, and I'm going back there for the midnight release. Like, there's this huge, like, basically sleepover party that they're doing for the midnight release of Onyx Storm. My local Barnes & Noble is doing one too when I originally signed up for them, but this group of people is just incredible. Like, they're very inclusive, they're very queer friendly. They're reading all different types of books, and us just like supporting, just reading. It's just great. It's just great. You're a sweaty gal too? Crochet. Do it tomorrow. Okay, so I've heard, who else wants to know how you change your ability outfit colors? So it's a little convoluted, okay? So I need to go to this section to show you. So you have to go over to your ability setup, okay? What you have to do is, you'll see how there's different ones that are on and things like that. My camera's blocking it, but there's gonna be stuff on the right-hand side, okay? All right, so we're gonna have to go back, go to your crafting section where your sketches are. Go to your ability outfits. You see how I have check marks? That means that I made a second outfit. So as an example, what's one full one that I have? The Bubbly Voyage, right? Yeah. So the Bubbly Voyage outfit we start the game with blue. You make the second one and you craft it. Then you come over and you need to go to, what is it called? The evolution section. And then you pick that outfit, whatever outfit it might be, like this one. And there's going to be a little thing over here to show you the second outfit and what you need to craft it. So this one was super easy. So instead of the green outfit, I now have it in blue. I'm sorry, the blue outfit, I now have it in green. So you come back, you go back over here to your ability setup, and it is the floating outfit, right? So we go over to this side. I'm going to have the choice of two of them. So this is the original, and now I crafted the green one. Now, I will say that this is the easiest one that you can craft right off the bat. The other ones require a certain material that you won't get until you're later on in the MSQ. I don't have them yet. So I crafted the outfits, but I can't make them yet. Let me see if I can actually show it to you. Not here. Let me see if I can show it to you in the evolution section. Like the Winds of Purity. So this is the second outfit, and it's telling me that I'm missing calm thoughts. All of them are missing calm thoughts. So it's a growth material. I have to hit like chapter 5 or 6 of the MSQ before I unlock being able to get these somehow. That's why I don't have anything else yet. Because we're so behind, because we're going through at a snail's pace for the MSQ. A regular Beyonce in Fortnite? Tommy, I hope it's both. What if it was both? Oh god. Oh god, I don't have the ability set up! Whoops. Chat, we're gonna forget that that just happened, right? Right, chat? I didn't have my flower ability on. It's cool. I drowned once before. I can do it again. Sorry about that, chat. That's the one you made. Isn't it adorable? I love it in green. I love it. There we go. Oh my god! We're getting sucked through these holes. Don't repeat that, chat. I realize I've made a grave error, okay? Thank you so much for the follows. I know, I'm so happy there's no fall damage. That would be catastrophic if that were not the case. How funny, I'm also missing calm thoughts. Oh my god, Martin, same. No one has most of these fits evolved. Really? I feel like for a lot of people that have already finished Chapter 8 of the MSQ that they do, but maybe it's just my perception. Is this gonna push me up? Ooh! Get wind! Yeah. Getting sucked through. The green holes. Do you not see these green hole guys? No? It was Mariah Carey, not Beyonce. Oh. Wait, I'm sorry. Is Mariah Carey in Fortnite? I haven't played in a while. Don't miss the market,
To the market
of mirth.
We'll ask Clown Nose Carson. As the famed storyteller king, he might know something.
Clown Nose Carson. Willie, you're a Clown Nose Carson. Can I get some Clown Nose Carson in the chat? I feel like that's a mean phrase. Oh my god. I broke a new record. Weren't you just a little goody two-shoes?
It's a human.
Hi.
Wow, it is a human. And a cat.
Nikki and Momo are really friendly. Don't worry.
Oh, Raggy did come with us.
Frizzy, why are you floating out here? Shouldn't you be playing Move and Groove?
Clown nose, like
No.
nose.
Too much dancing. I'm exhausted. Resting now.
The Sky Pass collapsed. I can't leave.
The market of
I like his
Mirth's
tie.
has also collapsed. Something feels off here.
He speaks as the
Maybe they
same
did this to
pace
stop
as the
us.
plot of Akatar.
But with Nikki here, we can fix it. Let's go find Clown Nose Carson first.
He is
It would be great if we
elevated.
could find the wish collector at the Market of Mirth.
Ah, Clown Nose Carson? He's at the top of the Market of Mirth Stone Tree. Though,
Creeper
only
Van?
a catapult seal on a full stomach can launch a
Is there?
human up there.
So then, go and find the Catapult Seals feeder. He has lots of windfin jerky. The Catapult Seal's
What?
favorite snack.
Oh, we gotta get that for him.
When it eats enough, it'll have the strength to send you.
But the feeder's been in a really bad mood. He probably won't talk to you.
I'll make him talk.
Though, he really loves the Shoot a Scarecrow game.
Oh
If you give him
no.
a prize from that, he'll feed the catapult seal for sure.
Okay.
That'll cheer him up. Got it.
So
Speaking
first
a
I
bit
need to go play
faster.
the Shoot a Scarecrow game. I'll give the prize I win to the Catapult Seal's feeder to cheer him up. Then he should feed the Catapult Seal.
Done. Easy.
That's right.
Good luck.
Fairwich, is this how you... Never mind. We're fine. We're fine. Oh, cat, I love that. Will I want to purchase it? Yeah, that's how I sound when I first wake up in the morning time. I agree. I agree. All right, I just want to check out this area first. We got some tasty morsels. Talk to the feeder near the seal to feed it. Ooh. Okay. So we have to keep feeding up. So will I have to keep providing prizes? Hello. Fluffy time, Puffy. I'm going to say that to Kip. What are the rules? Purify green scarecrows to earn points. Don't hit the red ones. I can charge it. And I need how many? Earning enough points. 200 points? I want those diamonds. Eat them up. I like Puffy. They're not like Puffy. No problem. I'm rich. Oh my god, he's got a monocle. I just realized that. I thought he was holding a magnifying glass. Oh, did they, Tommy? I gotta tell Kip about that. Kip loves Cyberpunk. Just the first time. Okay. I didn't want to have to keep repeating this. Okay. Let's try it. My aim is not great with this, so... Oh my god. Girl! I mean... I knew things were bad before, but like... Oh god. Things were apparently really bad there. I think... Are those all red? How many points did I need? I can't tell the colors. I guess I've been fine so far. Hold down the button, you can aim. Oh, I thought that was just to charge it. Oh.
Awesome! The human is amazing!
I know.
Amazing.
It's my first time seeing humans play this game. You're amazing. Please accept this prize.
I needed 90. Oh, I hit it then. That's good. That's good. Scarecrow Memorial merch. Is this my prize? A small gift for the Catapult Seal Breeder. Souvenirs from the Shoot a Scarecrow game given to first-time human and Pisces players. First-time human. Wait, but what happened? What happened to my additional diamonds? Or did I already get those? He didn't give me enough. The claw. You're given the claw.
Oh, the little scarecrow. So cute.
You like it?
Bobo?
Bobo?
Thank you, human girl. You're a good human.
Then, can you help me feed
Elastic
the
hair
catapult
tie
seal?
Bobo.
We need
Tag
to get
yourself.
To the top of the market of
I'm this
Murkstone
person.
Tree.
I really can't. Sorry.
What?
But I can help send you a little higher. Once you're there, find Pridey the Catapult Seal's feeder. Ask him to help. He can launch you again to reach it.
That's great.
Good human. I'll go feed the catapult seal.
Okay. What do you feed him? Oh, good baby. That really wasn't feeding him. That was like giving him magic, no? But this is such a good baby.
Whoa. We're so high up.
Oh, another mini
The
game?
full stomach makes a huge difference.
We're still far from the top of the market of Murkstone Tree. We've got to find another catapult seal feeder to help.
Oh, God. So I have to go from basically section to section to play games, get the prize, and then move up, right? Incredible. All right, chat, what time is it? I think I'm going to call it here for today. I want to play more of this tomorrow, continue the MSQ. Next week, we'll probably head back to The Sims because I want to start working on more of our whimsy challenge. But I am such in like an Infinity Nikki mode right now. I hope that y'all have not been minding. I just love this game, and the MSQ was so cute. And I like playing dress up, and we're just having some good old comfy vibes for the holidays. And that's on that. Well, thanks for being here. I love you all very, very much. So, stream tomorrow. 12 p.m. Eastern time. We'll continue yapping. We'll continue Infinity Nikki. Last stream before next week. Just gonna tell y'all ahead of time, regular schedule next week. I'm only gonna be off for New Year's Day. And we're gonna have like an earlier New Year's Eve stream. So you're still gonna be stuck with me for 4 days next week. Listen though, before we go, I've got a giveaway I still want to do and a raid. So let me pick another Humble Bundle game to give away. Let's do The Wolf Among Us. This is going to be from the Telltale collection for Humble Bundle. The Wolf Among Us. So exclamation point giveaway in the chat. You must be following me. You must have your Twitch Whispers open, and this is for PC/Steam only. Exclamation point giveaway for The Wolf Among Us. I played this game. It is so freaking good. This is when Telltale Games was like in their prime. And especially if you like any fairy tale type stories, you're gonna love this game. It's like an edgier fairy tale detective story. It's so good. It is so freaking good. I really, really like it. Thank you for stream. Thanks for being here. I missed y'all. Don't worry, we're gonna have way more chats tomorrow. I promise. Thank you again so much for hanging out today, especially if you came by for a raid. If y'all are still here and you want to hit that heart button, we've got anonymous follows on if you want to come back for more cozy games, for more yaps, for more me yelling at you, because that's what I love to do. God forbid a girl have hobbies. Are they working on the sequel? That's so cool. Because for a little amount of time, they obviously were not together. I hope that's the case. The name of it sounds wonderful. Yeah. It's really, really awesome. Very edgy. Oh, you did, Lauren. Cool. Thank you. All right, last call. Exclamation point. Giveaway. Oh, thank you. Perfect, Lauren. We're going to go. We're going to do that. I need to take this. I still had your Etsy suggestion up. Okay. Awesome. Okay. They're going to be so excited. Okay, our winner of the giveaway is Simmer! Oh my God, congrats! Simmer, babe, give me 1 second. I'm going to message you on Twitch right now. So I can give you your game key. Where are you? Beautiful! All right, I just sent it through Twitch Whispers. Congrats! I really should get a rat emote at this point, right? Probably should. Probably should. Okay, pals. We are going to be raiding my sweet friend Taco today. Y'all might know Taco from hanging out in the community. He's raided us many, many times. I don't think that we've ever raided him before. But Taco is great. Playing some Disney Dreamlight Valley. You're going to love the vibes there. I say this in the best way possible. He's a little bit more unhinged than we are. Listen, to be fair, we've never been hinged. But he's a little bit more unhinged than we are. Very chaotic, very fun vibes. You're going to love it there. And you're probably going to see our pal Kat, because Kat also mods for Taco too over there. So we're going to say, hey, hi, hello. Copy, paste the beautiful raid commands that we've got. And I'll see y'all tomorrow, okay? Oh, last thing. Follow me on Blue Sky if you're not already. Sub to me on my VOD channel on YouTube if you're not already. And hop in the Discord because we would love to spend some time with you off stream. We all hang out in there. I'm very annoying in there. And I appreciate y'all for being in there. Okay, I love you. I'll see you tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern. Bye. Be good or else. I'll find out. I'm watching you. Threateningly.